Hi, I'm Dr. De Bruin, and this is a quick walkthrough of how to answer this exam question from the bonding topic of AQA A-level Chemistry. This is a really common question that comes up from the bonding topic, where you're given 2 or maybe sometimes even 3 different substances, and you're asked to justify why they have differences in melting point or in boiling point. Now, whatever the substances that have been picked are, the key fact here is that the more energy it takes to overcome the forces between particles, the higher the melting point or the higher the boiling point will be. So even if you have no idea about these substances, you need to get that into your answer somewhere because that is going to be credit-worthy. And it's often credit-worthy even if you've talked about completely the wrong kinds of substances. So once we've established that, the other thing we need to figure out is what are these forces between particles. So sometimes you're given an ionic substance and a covalent substance, or maybe even a metallic substance, although that's a lot rarer. And sometimes it's a question like this one, which is actually about a couple of different simple covalent molecules and thinking about the weak intermolecular forces between them. Now, when they do this, they tend to give you things that are very, very similar to each other apart from one particular key thing. So for instance, here I've got butanol and butanone, and both of those are molecules that contain a carbon chain that's 4 carbons long. So they're not going to give you a really, really tiny alcohol and then a massive ketone, because then you're going to have to start talking about differences in the relative formula mass as well, and it just kind of overcomplicates things. So they do kind of try and keep it quite straightforward. So the key thing here is that whichever one of these has a lower boiling point, so here it's the butanone, that's going to be the one that has weak intermolecular forces between the molecules. So even if I can't visualise what these molecules look like and what the weak intermolecular forces are going to be, the fact that butanone has got the lower boiling point tells me it must have weaker forces. So based on that, I can start to make a pretty good guess. So the first thing I'm saying here is that the weak intermolecular forces in butanone take less energy to overcome than the weak intermolecular forces in butanol. Even if I don't know what they are, I can get a mark for saying that. Now I'm going to go on and justify what those forces are. So the alcohol is going to have hydrogen bonding between the molecules. Now remember, hydrogen bonds, we're not talking about covalent bonds here, we're talking about that weak intermolecular force. And the reason that that force is forming is because the covalent bond between the oxygen atom and the hydrogen atom in the alcohol is really quite polarized due to the difference in electronegativity. And so that's going to mean that we therefore get this stronger weak intermolecular force between molecules, and that's the hydrogen bond. So then if we're going to compare this, we can say that the butanone, in contrast, only has weak van der Waals forces. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you're finding these walkthroughs of A-level chemistry exam questions useful as part of your revision or your ongoing A-level chemistry studies. If you are finding them useful, then don't forget to like and subscribe for more A-level chemistry videos coming soon.